This year we celebrate our 25-year experience of strengthening research and knowledge services in Africa, Asia and Latin America. So INASP enables research to make a greater impact on global development through better research communication, effective research uptake and stronger links between evidence and policy. We believe that researchers have an equal right to contribute their knowledge and evidence and to participate in global problem-solving processes, which can help inform development, national development in their countries and also international development. But lots of capacity development fails because it doesn't tackle some of the different questions about sustainability, it's not co-designed or developed with the partners, and it doesn't take proper heed of local context. And that's something that we feel, all of those things, are things that we feel very strongly about at INASP.
When I was in Africa, there were two things that I heard at conference after conference. One was, we never get published. We do all the research or data gathering. Someone else writes the paper and they get the publication and the credit. The other thing I used to hear was, do you know what? We as African governments are really sick of and you fill in the gap, World Bank, British Council, DFID, CEDA, telling us what to do. And INASP addresses both those problems. It addresses the problem of not having the evidence to engage in evidence-based policy so that African governments and institutions can deliver their own evidence and not rely on other people's. So that is a really important thing, and I don't know anyone else who's doing that. The second thing INASP does, it finds the vehicles, the capacity building inputs, the institutional links to enable researchers in Africa, Asia, and Latin America to get published in their own right.
We on the continent are changing the narratives about the continent. The continent is not a dark continent. The continent is not a continent without capacity. The continent is not a continent without excellence. The continent is not a continent without people who can produce and change the continent. What is happening on the continent over the past 10 years is that a generation of young researchers are growing up. They have been trained, they have been equipped with all the skills and capacities to be excellent players. What they need is a way in which they are exposed to the greater world. So the opportunity to use technology, the opportunity to create new mentors in a virtual way, the opportunity to engage with people in different ways, these are the areas where INASP is breaking new grounds. These are the areas where INASP is working with us to change the narratives about our scholarship, about our policy engagement, and about our research uptake. It is one reason why I'm passionate and I feel committed to the organizations.
We know that the Sustainable Development Goals are about partnership, about joint responsibility for changing our world. And I don't know any other organization that puts its money where its mouth is more than INASP, because without the research capability, without the use of locally produced and locally honed evidence, we are not going to have that universal approach to the SDGs. We're not going to have that joined up equitable partnership that we at the British Council believe in, that INASP is working day and night with a small but really expert team to produce.